Hi and welcome to Ninja Monkey. I'm losing my voice. Hi and welcome to Ninja Monkey. I'm Nathan and today I have some exciting news that I want to share with you. And that is that Japan seems to be looking at perhaps relaxing some of the entry requirements so that tourists like you and like me might finally be able to get to Japan, to visit Japan for travel or whatever you might want to do. I'm going to go over some of the articles that I've been reading and break down what exactly might be happening, what exactly you might have to do in order to get to Japan and when exactly this might happen. So let's check it out together. So let's get serious. So Japan is a little bit nervous, I think, because they've invested a lot of money into the Tokyo Olympics that didn't take place this year. So the 2020 Olympics now becomes a 2020 part 2 or 2020.5 Olympics. Anyway, but it is happening next year, and obviously I think that it's in the interest of Japan to get people back visiting Japan, especially for the Olympics. So there's obviously a lot of uncertainty. There's been a lot of uncertainty around COVID-19, and Japan has started to perhaps look at changing things. So according to the Japan Times article I was reading, the government is working on putting some safety measures into place for some overseas visitors like you and like me ahead of the games, so that the entry bans might hopefully be lifted. Now, the Japan Times actually says April 2021, but I have read in other places that perhaps this might actually come a little bit earlier, maybe even in January 2021. So, according to the Japan Times, some of the safety measures under consideration include requiring visitors to download a health check app of sorts, and visitors would have to agree to update the app daily for during their time in Japan, and that may actually allow the visitor to forego spending the 14 days in quarantine, which I think is a huge deal. Because come on, let's face it, who has 2 weeks to spend in a hotel in quarantine before they even start their trip? So this would be a huge deal, a big deal. So I'm really happy about that, if that's the case. Also, it says that foreign tourists might also be required to purchase private medical insurance prior to their trip to Japan, and that's in case of a coronavirus infection. Now, I don't know exactly how that works. I usually travel with travel insurance, and obviously there is a difference between private medical insurance and private insurance. So I'm very lucky because I come from a place that has free medical cover. I know that private medical insurance is quite common in other countries, but I have no idea of how that works. Maybe you can inform me. Let me know in the comments what the difference between travel insurance and private medical insurance is, because I really don't know. But anyway, another interesting thing is that the government is looking at actually setting up some special consultation centers around the country so that foreign tourists can deal with any health issues related to COVID. So that actually is a big deal. I think it will make people feel more at ease if they knew that if they were traveling to Japan and there were some special centers around that they could visit or call in for advice, etc. That is really going to help. I know that in a country especially like Japan that might not be as English friendly as some other foreign countries, this will go a long way to actually easing travelers' worries, I think anyway. So at the moment, undergoing testing before arriving in Japan is required by all foreign residents entering Japan, and I think that it's probably going to be mandatory for anybody traveling into Japan, including tourists. At the moment in Gibraltar, where I come from, you can actually get tested, get a certificate saying that you're negative to travel with. I don't know, what's it like in your country? Can you do something similar? And I know that when you arrive in Japan, you will be tested, and that's probably going to be the case for us tourists too. So looking at my iPad here, it says that another interesting thing is that it says Japan might allow outbound international travel starting in October. Now, my understanding here is that there are 4 levels of a system in place in Japan, and at the moment Japan is at level 3. That's basically banning 159 countries from entering Japan, which is quite crazy. And if the alert is lowered to level 2, then the government might start easing things a little bit. So according to the Japan Times, the government might allow travel to and from areas with low infection rate, and the list could potentially be changing depending on the situation in the country. And as far, the potential countries that will be included for, travel into Japan will be Australia, New Zealand and Vietnam. So far there's no information on whether this applies to just Japanese nationals or foreign residents, so we'll have to wait and see. But it does sound quite hopeful. It looks like there's gonna be some changes in the coming months, and that's good. So just to recap, a few things that I've learned is that Japan is looking at opening up its borders to tourists like you and me, and that's a great thing. The second thing is that there might be some sort of app that you might have to download to forego the quarantine on the way in, and you'd have to sort of do some health checks and let the government know how you're doing whilst you're in Japan, which if I need to do that, then no problem. Thirdly, there's something about private medical insurance, which I'm not too sure how private medical insurance works, so please let me know if you have more information on that. And finally, there's the whole testing before you go and testing on arrival. So that's just some updates. There is some hope. So if you're new to the channel, I travel to Japan quite a bit usually, but obviously I can't right now. So please check out some of my older videos where I travel. I do a lot of travel vlogging around Japan. You might find some of the places that I travel to quite interesting. Also, let me know what your favorite videos are. If you're a subscriber, you might want to point some of the people watching this video to some of your favorite videos. Please link them in the comments below. I would really appreciate that. And as always, come back to check out some information I'll be posting as I find out more. Anyway, that's all for now. As always, keep safe. See you soon. Like the video. Bye.